5 ways to discover your personality type. So, you want to know more about yourself. That's awesome. So do I, and hopefully so does everybody. Who here has ever taken a personality test? Ever taken the inventory of any kind, gone online and taken a quick quiz? How did that test make you feel? Some people, not cool. They don't like being judged by these things, all right? Put me in a box and call me a label, don't want it. And I understand that. I get that. But what I want to say is open up a little bit, because these tests do have value. Even though they don't have a whole lot of scientific evidence behind them, meaning, 1 second, pause, Carl Jung started the theory of psychological typing a long time ago. And ever since then, it's been a lot more pseudoscience than hard science, but still, it reveals a lot about who we are. It can be very, very accurate. So, it's worth your time. Even though it's not super scientific, there are a lot of great companies and great research teams that have gone out and developed some really good theories and really good ways of understanding how to get at this information. Yes, people are mysterious. We don't want to take away everybody's individualism and your mystery. You are one of a kind, no doubt. But it does help to know how we operate. How does one person think? How does the other person think? What's their language? The way I like to think in personalities is everybody has a different language. And it's our job as leaders and communicators to figure out what their language is. Because the way that I can be the best, most effective communicator to my people is discovering what language they speak in. Here are 5 ways to discover your personality type, or the type on someone that you're trying to figure out. Could be someone on your team. Guys, this goes beyond teamwork. This could even go to marriage, friendships, business partnerships, all kinds of stuff. So, here we go. Number 1, the MBTI. This is the most popular one that you've probably heard of. If you've taken a personality test at all, it probably had something to do with this. This is really closely connected to Carl Jung's theory. And it comes down to 16 different types. For an example, an ENFP, an INTP, ESTJ, ISTP, these variations of letters all compile what they're trying to paint as a certain type. And when you get that type, it'll tell you how you take in energy. If you're introverted, extroverted, you handle energy differently. If you're intuitive versus sensing, then you're gonna take in information differently. If you're a thinker or a feeler, obviously you come to decisions differently. And if you're a perceiver or a judger, you're gonna evaluate life in a different way. So awesome test. I've attached a free test below in this article. Please go check it out. Number 2 is cognitive functions. This is a cool test that's really founded more on the Myers and Briggs theory. It's the nether level of it. Number 3, the Enneagram. This is one that's not so popular, and that's for good reason. It dives really deep, and it goes down into why we do what we do. What are our core desires? What are our biggest fears? Because the truth is, core desire and big fear, that's what motivates us. And a lot of who we are and why we do what we do comes from those deep places. So this test divides you into 9 different types. If I can count, 9. Super important test. Again, free test attached in the article below. Number 4, the DISC. Everyone's heard of the DISC. Not everybody. A lot of people have heard of the DISC. If you're in professional worlds, you know the DISC divides people into people orientation, task orientation. What are the other 2? Outgoingness and reservedness. They figure out those 4 quadrants and place someone as a matrix somewhere in between those 4 things. And everybody has a different spot that they land on, but it's really cool. This one in particular for discovering blind spots. You may be super task oriented and not realize that in your task orientation you're missing out on some of the relational stuff, or vice versa. So the DISC is really cool. Again, free test, copy below. Number 5, the final one, is one of my favorites. It's developed by Gallup's research team, StrengthsFinder 2.0. You'll discover 5 ways that you are separated in strength and talent, and they suggest to focus on those things. And I believe, as a maximizer myself, focusing on your strengths gives you much greater return than trying to improve your weaknesses. Because we got so many weaknesses out there, guys. If you try and fix them all, you'll spend your whole life doing things of correcting yourself. Instead, focus on your strengths. Use this test to figure out what they are. There's 5 ways you can discover more about yourself or about your team. The first 4 are free. Last one costs money, but I assure you it's worth it, and it's a lot of fun. So if you're ready, guys, if you're ready to go to that next level in your awareness, in your communication, in your discernment, in your empathy, in your team building, start taking some tests. Get to know more about yourself, how you operate, how you communicate. It'll serve you, it'll serve your people, and in the end, hey, we all get to develop. Like, subscribe, follow us. We want to do more of this stuff with you.